Dear students of class 9 and 10, honorable viewers, welcome to online class on behalf of Akhelale High School. Dear students, are ready with your English for today book or EFT book? Okay. Be seated with your pen and khata and share the class to your friends or classmates so that they can enjoy the class at the same time with you. Because today's class is the most important class for the students of class 9 and 10. And I'm Shaina Akhtar, Assistant Teacher, Akhelale High School, Fulbaria, Khaliakhur, Gazipur. Okay, dear students, let's enjoy the class. Okay, what can you see in the picture? What is the picture about? Yes, the picture is about Bangabandhu's homecoming on 10th January 1972. Okay, so can you guess what is our today's lesson? Yes, our today's lesson is the tale of homecoming. Unit 1, lesson 2. Thank you so much. Dear students, can you find any similarity with the picture and the title of the lesson? Okay. Yes, the title of the lesson is The Tale of Homecoming, and the picture shows Bangabandhu's homecoming on 10th January 1972. So, we can say, we strongly say there is a good connection or there is a good similarity between the picture and the title of the lesson. Thank you so much. Go to section B. Dear students, let's read the story of Bangabandhu's homecoming to answer the questions that follow. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested by the Pakistani army immediately after his declaration of independence or announcement of independence at the first hour of the 26th March 1971. He was taken to Pakistan as a captive or as a prisoner and imprisoned there in a small cell for capital punishment or death sentence until 7th January 1972. Even a grave was dug in front of his cell. But Mujib was fearless. He knew nothing would stop the Bengalis to gain or to achieve independence. In fact, his name and independence became synonymous. So the whole world was awaiting breathlessly or awaiting eagerly to witness his homecoming. And he had a grand homecoming indeed narrated by eminent columnist and writer Syed Badrul Ahsan. That means Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested by the Pakistani army on 26 March 1971. He was taken to Pakistan as a prisoner and imprisoned him into a small cell for capital punishment until 7th January 1972. Even a grave was dug in front of his cell. But Mujib was careless or fearless because he knew nothing would stop the Bengalis to gain independence. And once upon a time, the whole world was awaiting breathlessly to witness his homecoming. And his homecoming was a grand homecoming. And the famous columnist and writer Syed Badrul Ahsan narrated it grandly. And then in the evening of 7th January 1972, Bangabandhu left Chakla Airport in Rawalpindi, from where he would fly to London. 9 months earlier, he was brought to Pakistan as a prisoner with little hope to return. And now he was free to go home, Pakistan, as soon as the PIA aircraft took off was finally behind him. On 7th January 1972, Bangabandhu left Pakistan for London. 9 months earlier, he was brought to Pakistan as a prisoner with little hope to return. And now he was free to go home, to return home. And for good, he left Pakistan. Then early in the morning on 8 January 1972, Bangabandhu arrived at Heathrow Airport. News of Bangabandhu's arrival in London spread quickly. Journalists, the general public, British officials and politicians, and Bengali residents in the city made their way or rushed to Hotel Claridge's. News bulletins on the BBC and other media organizations made note of the Bangabandhu's arrival in their headlines. On 8 January 1972, Bangabandhu arrived in London airport. Then his arrival spread quickly in London. Then all classes of people such as journalists, the general public, British officials and politicians, and Bengali residents living in the city rushed or went to Hotel Claridge's. Then news bulletins on the BBC and other media organizations made note of the Bangabandhu's arrival in their headlines. After arriving by early afternoon, the father of the nation had met the British Prime Minister Edward Heath and leader of the opposition Harold Wilson. Then he called Dhaka and for the first time since his arrest by the Pakistani army in March, spoke to his family. A long conversation then followed with Prime Minister Tajuddin Ahmed. The conversations with his family and with Tajuddin are emotional affairs or sentimental incident. But he now had a clear picture of all that had happened in his absence in Bangladesh. It gave him immense great pleasure knowing that he had truly liberated his people. After welcoming Bangabandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman called Dhaka for communication with his family and Tajuddin Ahmed. The conversation with his family and with Tajuddin emotional affairs. Through the conversations, Bangabandhu had a clear picture, a clear idea of all that had happened in his absence in Bangladesh. He also got great pleasure knowing that he had truly liberated his people. Bangabandhu's opening words or speeches at a crowded news conference the evening at Claridge's was a touch poetic or slightly poetic. He expressed the unbounded joy or limitless delight of freedom. achieved by his people in an epic liberation struggle. Then, Bangabandhu's opening was at a crowded news conference that evening at Claridge's was a task poetic because he expressed the limitless delight of freedom achieved by his people in an epic liberation era. Then Bangladesh, he told the crowd, was a reality and would fulfill its obligations as part of the international community. He made it clear that those who are involved in different types of crimes, including genocide or massacre, would be tried by his government. In the crowd, Bangabandhu assured that it was a reality and Bangladesh would fulfill its obligations as part of the international community. He assured that those who are involved in different types of crimes during liberation era, including genocide or massacre, would be tried by his government. Dear students, hope you are clear about the text. Now go to section C, work in pairs. Write on the blank spaces how you would express these words or phrases in your own language. Yes, Declaration of Independence means announcement of independence অর্থাৎ স্বাধীনতার ঘোষণা. Thank you so much. Then capital punishment. So here would be death sentence. That means সর্বোচ্চ শাস্তি মৃত্যুদণ্ড. Fine. And then third one, to await breathlessly. That means to wait for someone or something eagerly. কারোর জন্য আগ্রহ করে অপেক্ষা করা. And then make their way. That means go or to move forward, usually by following forth. সাধারণত পথ অনুসরণ করে যাওয়া. Then emotional affairs means sentimental incident or আবেগময় ঘটনা. Then immense means great, ব্যাপক. Thank you. And then thus poetic. Yes, thus poetic means slightly poetic or কিছুটা কাব্যিক. Then unbounded joy. Yes, সীমাহীন আনন্দ. That means limitless delight, অসীম আনন্দ. And then genocide means massacre or গণহত্যা. Thank you so much, dear students. Now go to section D. Yes, talk about the questions. There are 4 questions here. Now let's check answer, or let's guess the answer of the questions from the text or after understanding the text. Okay, question number 1. What made Bangabandhu so bold while in the prison? Yes, the text gives us a clear conception that Bangabandhu was arrested by the Pakistani army on 26 March 1971. But he was careless, he was fearless about arresting because he knew nothing would stop the Bengalis to achieve independence. So this fact made him so bold while in the prison. Clear? Okay, thank you so much. Then question number 2. How did time change in Bangabandhu's life within the 9 months in a Pakistani prison? Yes. Bangabandhu was brought to Pakistan as a prisoner with little hope to return before 9 months earlier. But now he was free to go home or to return home, and this made or this changed in Bangabandhu's, this brought change time in Bangabandhu's life within the 9 months in a Pakistani prison. Okay, then question number 3. How did London welcome Bangabandhu? Yes, generally London welcomed Bangabandhu grandly. Yes, when the when the arrival of Bangabandhu's when Bangabandhu's arrival spread quickly in London, then the journalists, the general public, the politicians, the officials, and the Bengali residents living in the city rushed to Hotel Claridge's to meet him or to witness him with their own eyes. Also, news bulletins on the BBC and other media organizations made note of the Bangabandhu's arrival in their headline. Thus, Bangabandhu welcomed, especially in London. And then question number 4. Do you agree with the statement that Bangabandhu was excited as well as relieved from long anxiety in London? Why? Why not? Yes, as we noticed the text attentively, so we can say we agree with the statement that Bangabandhu was excited as well as relieved from long anxiety in London. His opening speeches or his opening words at a crowded news conference that evening at Hotel Claridge's was a touch poetic, because he expressed his unbounded joy of freedom achieved by his people in an epic liberation struggle. So we strongly agree with the statement that Bangabandhu was excited as well as relieved from long anxiety in London. Dear students, thank you so much. Now, home task. Yes, from the text we have learned some words or phrases such as Declaration of Independence, capital punishment, await breathlessly, make their emotional affairs immense, transporting, unbounded joy, and genocide. Dear students, also we have learned some questions answers, and so as a home task you will write some sentences with using the phrases or words. One is done for you, such as Declaration of Independence. Yes, the Declaration of Independence was really essential for our country in 1971. Okay, dear students, like this you will make another sentences by using this or by using the rest of the phrases or words. Okay, be healthy, safe and sound. See you and meet you in the next class. That's all. Thank you so much.